Are you ready for some fresh funk records? We start off with a record that is clearly made in a big city, and the cover gives it away. We're talking a city there they speak Spanish, and it is made in Spain, Madrid, the capital of Spain. And the record it fuses so many different influences. It's from the band, I think it's their debut album, Danzón el Gato. And when there is a gato on the cover, you know it's going to be funky. This is also a great example of a Brazilian album with a gato on the cover. Also a great album, early 70s. This album is also clearly inspired by the 70s. The groove is there, which is really the heart of the music and the album. But because of the Latin influences, you get also songs like this. And that gives the music that early 70s New York vibe. I've never been there at that time, but I guess it sounded like this some nights. And the music is it's funky, it's jazzy, many are instrumental songs, and it melts it all together to one big funky melting pot. A very enjoyable album. And the cover of this album, it really gives away what you can expect. This music would fit perfectly on a short 7-inch. Raw music, real vintage soul. You get tight horns, you get some wah-wah guitar, in the pocket drums. That is of course the Honey Badger's part. The voice cutting through it all is by Marietta Smith. She has that really nice, deep soul voice that really, as I said, it cut through the music, through the groove, but then the groove gets back at her and really makes it really tight. The music is recorded over a period of 10 years, and you can hear that in the music. The first tracks, this is one of the first tracks they recorded, really has that raw vibe. The later, you can feel the difference as the times are changing a little bit. It gets more soulful, but together it's great. It's released on Funk Night Records. What a label. They release so much great stuff, from jazzy sides to the funky stuff to the deep soul stuff, and that is what you're getting here. The influence of black music, and more specific funk, on the world is amazing. The world is still infected by this funk groove created in the late 60s. This album, it is a double album, showcases the influences it has on the Italian scene as it is today. And I was not aware that there was such a big funky scene in Italy, because it is a double album with so many different bands and so much different music, all funky. It really caught me by surprise, and I really enjoyed this album because well, the cover you can see, it grabs clearly back to the Shakitas album from the beginning of the 70s called Stories. And the music is also this kind of pre-disco music. It is jazzy, most of the songs are instrumental. It has a boogie vibe, you can hear the differences, but if I sample the next song, you can clearly hear that more early 70s Grant Green style of funk, and I really enjoyed it of this album because I was expecting some kind of more disco-like album, it is the opposite. It is really enjoyable in the sense that it's really, well, I was blown away that it was this funky and it was this kind of funk. On the cover you see it's called Lexia Mistral. She also sings on the album on the side D. There it goes a little bit more hip-hop style, but A, B and C, the sides are all so much fun, so funky. For the next album, we changed the mood with some raw energy of an organ trio. This album released on Coalmine Records, and when it says Coalmine Records, it's gonna be funky. They hardly ever disappoint. This debut album by Parlour Greens, it really recalls that sound of the late 60s, early 70s prestige Blue Note albums, where the B3 organ was screaming all the way through. And that's certainly true for this record. Although the funky side of the music, it really comes from, I would almost say, that Stax sound, or it is because we dream in green, they are called Parlour Greens, I'm thinking Green Onions, but the Booker T and MGs, you really feel that sound in the music. And it's quite funny because as it is a trio, you have an organ, Adam Scone, Booker T, you have on guitar Jimmy James, Steve Cropper, and on drums you have Tim Carman. Booker T and MGs, who was on drums? I think it's Al Jackson, I'm not sure. This album really has that same vibe, that there's that funkiness, lightness. That is not a soul revival album, it really has the energy of a live jam. And it's time to chill a little bit with the surf rock vibes from Balthus. I don't know if you pronounce their name that way. The music is inspired by the music by Khurram. Also a name, I don't know how to pronounce it. There must be a correlation between band names and this kind of music, because I have no clue how to pronounce them. The music was first very much underground and is now much more mainstream music these days. And it is blending folk music with a little bit of psychedelica. It has a little bit of that Anatolian rock from Turkey, Eastern influences. It is blending a lot of different styles. And it's fun to know that this band is from Colombia. So there must be folk influences from that area, cumbia, that is influencing the music. Because I don't know if you know this album by the Hernández Gutierrez brothers, or the brothers Gutierrez. They're from Peru and they have that similar spaghetti western vibe going through the music. And that makes this music so much fun to listen to and to relax to. It is a beautiful fusion of music that I really like.